Before opening West Denver Prep, I ran a nonprofit organization called Denver Summer Bridge, which is now known as Breakthrough Kent Denver. We provided college prep enrichment classes for students, mainly low income, from around Denver. Every year we had a closing celebration at the end of the summer, and every year at least a few families would pull me aside after that event and say something to the effect of, "I love this program and I love the education my children are getting. Why can't this be a school that operates 9 months of the year, not a 6-week summer program?" To be frank, I got tired of hearing that. And so, with a group of community leaders, parents, and students, we made an effort to open a charter school in Southwest Denver. I completed the Building Excellent Schools Fellowship in 2004. It's a national nonprofit committed to training charter school leaders in best practices in charter school development. Building Excellent Schools provided me with terrific opportunities to visit other charter school programs, but also 2 years to build and design West Denver Prep. We opened our original school because of the parent demand that we had in Southwest Denver. After 2 years, the waiting list was longer than 2 schools worth of spots. And so we opened our second school in the same community because we wanted to meet more of those parents' needs. Around this time, some community groups in North Denver recruited us to open additional schools. And so we decided to open schools 2 at a time, 2 middle schools that could feed a high school over the long term to expand into a new market. After 3 years of a demonstrated track record, we began to plan more intentionally for growth, and our aspiration now is a network of 12 schools and 4,000 kids over a 10-year period. Before one of our board votes before the Denver Public Schools Board of Education in 2009 to open additional schools in the North Denver community, then Board President Teresa Pena commented on why she was supporting West Denver Prep in what she believed was one of the only, if the only, proven model in Denver to demonstrate successful education for low-income students. And she said she felt as a board president, she experienced a moral imperative to support the replication and the growth of something that had created this indicator of success in its inception. We believe in that same moral imperative to serve more students and build a broader organization that can meet the needs of more students eager and hungry for a college prep education. West Denver Prep's vision is that a high-quality K-12 education resulting in college readiness becomes the norm, not the exception, for all students across Denver, regardless of race, income, academic background, or any other factor. West Denver Prep seeks to build schools that are public schools and sustainable on public funds long-term. But we need additional support for our growth plan. Funds for growth will support the back office, a central office and team necessary to grow each new school with strong, consistent academic quality, as well as accountability. Funds are needed for varied facility solutions, public and private spaces that house our schools. Funds are needed for strong campus-based leadership and staff, and especially for our leadership development program, what we call our principal and training program that intentionally trains our next generation of school leaders. Funds are needed for the continuation of our performance pay program, a program that rewards teachers for demonstrated student achievement results, as well as for experiential service learning and college visit trips for our students. Support for the growth of a network like ours comes in financial terms and also comes in other terms. Developing and sustaining a strong national teacher recruitment effort is critical to the success of charter schools as well as all schools across the country. We absolutely must have the best and brightest continue to go into education and be the teachers in our classrooms for the next generation. We need a strong nationwide advocacy effort to support community engagement and student recruitment throughout the communities in which we work. There are forces at work among the status quo that make it difficult to replicate and grow high-performing charter schools. And a well-organized community base, as well, and most importantly, as well-organized parents who benefit most from this movement, are critical to its ongoing success. We also seek support for our West Denver Prep alumni from our original campus as they move through high school now and begin the college selection and application process. Throughout, we seek a long-term commitment by our policymakers and our communities to education reform across our country that will result in college readiness being the norm for all students. In many educational organizations, great instruction is at the center of the model for success. And while I'm the first to agree that a terrific lesson is the hallmark of a great school, at West Denver Prep, we've chosen to focus first on school culture. We want our school environment to be a place where learning is fun, where it's cool to be smart, and where the goal of college for every kid is palpable for every student as they walk through the school every day. This looks like dozens of different practices, such as being greeted by a principal every morning with a handshake, look in the eye, by someone who knows each student's name. It looks like classrooms that are named after colleges, the alma mater of one of their teachers. It looks like college visits throughout the program. It looks like a system of behavioral expectations and tools where students have a real incentive to earn rewards and different sorts of positive encouragement by their behavior and their homework completion. We take the details of this culture incredibly seriously and seek to grow this culture where every student is both valued and successful from the first day that they walk in the door. We also believe that real, genuine community engagement from all of our parents and all of our constituents is a critical part of our success. Not every family has had a positive experience of school. It matters a great deal that West Denver Prep be a place where families are valued and welcomed, and where we're going to work together in a partnership to resolve challenges and solve problems and support each one of our students. This level of community engagement is critical so that the schools are owned, supported, operated by the entire community, and that the success is cherished by all of us, students, teachers, and parents. Finally, we believe in supporting the talent of our teachers and our leaders in making our organization as effective as it possibly can be. We pride ourselves on West Denver Prep being a place where teachers can teach. When people come through our hiring process, I frequently tell them, this is a place where you're expected to teach your students well, plan exceptional lessons, know each of your students and families very, very well. And if you do these things well, you'll be enormously successful. And this is a place where we're going to remove every possible obstacle out of your way so that you can be effective at these tasks. Our teachers teach 4 sections of the same class. They have 3 planning periods. And we engage in extensive curriculum development in small content teams, so the teachers have a great deal of ownership over what they teach. The balance between autonomy and accountability is important. Teachers in our network have enormously high standards for a great lesson every day and for significant student outcomes. An average student with us gains 5 years of academic progress in 3 years' time. But teachers also understand that there's a 6-week cycle for evaluating their success at demonstrating student growth. And within those 6 weeks, they have a significant degree of autonomy over how they prepare their lessons, exactly what they teach, and how they best deliver content to their students. We believe that this supports teacher engagement at a level that will sustain excellence. We think of our organizational effectiveness in the context of the culture of our school, the structure of our learning environment, and the talent of our educators and our leaders. West Denver Prep provides a strong culture of high standards within the school, which includes a longer school day and a longer school year, allowing for 10 more instructional days at approximately 25% more time in the classroom. Students do 2 hours of homework each night that clearly reinforces classroom learning. And the organizational structure emphasizes student achievement above all else. The academic program places an emphasis on skill building and college readiness. Students take 150 minutes of literacy daily and 100 minutes of math, as well as science, world studies, and enrichment classes, such as arts, sports, and technology. West Denver Prep has a clear, consistent, and rigorous promotion policy that requires students to pass core academic classes at a level of 65%. This is a high bar, and students receive extensive support to reach it, in the form of regular interventions to meet those goals, and those who are unable to meet the goals initially repeat the grade in a system that celebrates the dedication they exhibit and continues to support and to encourage their learning. Students wear a simple uniform and are accountable to a school-wide culture of high behavioral expectations. They engage in character education curriculum, extensive high school preparatory activities, and have access to a variety of enrichment opportunities, including athletics, art, outdoor leadership, college field trips, and a capstone experiential learning trip at the end of 8th grade. West Denver Prep offers continued mentoring and support to our alumni, and we continue to closely track their progress through college graduation. As the West Denver Prep Network grows and expands, we've continued to improve upon our system for training our school leaders. We launched our first principal in training cohort this past school year. These individuals were selected through a rigorous national search in early 2011, with the understanding that each will be prepared for school leadership somewhere in our network within the next 2 years. School leadership is absolutely vital to the success of our schools, and so we invest heavily in the selection, the training, and the development of these individuals. Now they participate in a biweekly training seminar, they visit other high-performing schools, and they implement a personalized growth plan with one of our existing principals as a mentor. Each of the leaders of our new schools and the growing leaders in succession planning of our existing schools will all be members of this principal in training cohort. When we consider metrics of success at West Denver Prep, we start first and foremost with student achievement. What is the demonstrated student academic growth that our kids show over their time in our program? Students throughout the West Denver Prep Network have demonstrated exceptional academic achievement. West Denver Prep has met or exceeded Denver Public Schools district averages in nearly every category of our state test during each year of our operations, despite serving a considerably higher percentage of students who qualify for federal free or reduced lunch than our district average. We believe in evaluating student achievement through a variety of different measures. Denver Public Schools has a strong performance framework. It's a citywide evaluation tool that tracks the progress of all city schools of all varieties. All 4 of our schools are ranked distinguished, the highest level on this framework, and achieve high marks for parent and student satisfaction as well. We track our progress on our state test, known as CSAP, the Colorado State Assessment Program. We're fortunate in Colorado to have an exceptional growth measure, where students are evaluated not based on who is proficient and who isn't, but on how much growth and progress students make over their time with the program. West Denver Prep has been the home to the highest growth middle school in the state of Colorado in every year of our operations. And this year, we have the #1 school of all types of schools, elementary, middle, or high school. We also have our internal assessment program. Students are evaluated every 6 weeks through internal measures that we use to compare our data across campuses and track student progress toward our objectives. In addition to student achievement, the community engagement measures matter a great deal. We have high parent satisfaction throughout our program, and our students come back. We have the highest re-enrollment rates within the top 5 schools in the city among middle school models in Denver over the past couple of years. Our teacher retention has met or exceeded 80% every year across our network. First off, charter schools are public schools. We're very proud to be a public school, and we take our partnership with a public district incredibly seriously. I think this is a very important point to understand and to track. From a parent's perspective, parents are choosing among a wide variety of different public schools. We're proud members of Denver Public Schools. We work on a variety of different task forces and work with the DPS Board of Education on a variety of different issues to ensure great public schools for all of our kids in the city, regardless of whether they're enrolled in a charter school, a traditional district school, a magnet school, or some other type. In conjunction with this, we work hard on providing equity of access for all of our families. We want West Denver Prep to be a choice for every student, not just for students whose parents have time or engage in PTA meetings or church group sessions on Sunday. We do this by going door to door, by doing our home visits, by trying as hard as we can to break down every barrier of access for every family to learn about our program. In our North Denver schools, we've taken this one step further. Our 2 campuses in North Denver, our Lake campus and our Highland campus, are actually boundary admission schools for the district. A small middle school boundary enrollment area. Within that area, students have a selection between our 2 campuses and one traditionally run district school. But they have a guaranteed spot at one of those 3 schools. And if they don't make an affirmative choice to pick one, they will be assigned to one of those 3 programs. We believe this is a critical part of the charter school mission. We're for all kids, which means we should be able to take away all the different barriers that access all kids being able to enroll in this type of education. Finally, We seek to build schools that are sustainable on public funds. Right now, in the current economic conditions, this is a big challenge. Fundraising is necessary to bridge some of those gaps. More so, fundraising is necessary for growth, so that we can train our leaders, build out our model, add central office staff that can support the development of high-quality schools, and sustain replication at a very high degree of quality. But long-term, it's critical we run our schools, the day-to-day operations, on the public funds that we're provided. And if our schools are in public facilities and are built out to full capacity, receiving all of the public funds to which they're entitled, we're able to do that now. And so we believe the investment in the growth and sustainability of the network to be all that more important, given that the schools can be operated on public dollars. We consider our accomplishments first in the context of our local environment, where we have Denver's school performance framework that evaluates all schools in Denver of all types on a stack and rank style evaluation tool. We're also fortunate that this tool weights heavily student academic growth, not just the status of which students are proficient and which aren't, but how much growth are they making over the course of their time in the school. In 2010, West Denver Prep had the highest rated school in the Denver School Performance Framework. Our Harvey Park campus ranked first. In 2011, our first year to have 4 schools, all 4 of these schools ranked in the distinguished band, which is the highest level on the School Performance Framework in Denver. Considering statewide, Harvey Park was the #1 school in all of Colorado on student academic growth in 2011. This includes all elementary, middle, and high schools throughout the state. Looking again in Denver, on this Colorado growth model, the measure of academic growth our students make, all 4 of our campuses ranked in the top 7 throughout the city. Considering as well the Denver School of Science and Technology, a companion CMO in Colorado, 7 of the top 8 schools in Denver on student academic growth were among one of these 2 models, and all of the schools in each of our networks ranked in these top 8. It's a powerful statement in the power of replicating high-performing models in Colorado. Our original federal campus was named a top 10 Title I school by the Colorado Department of Education, and also received a National EPIC Award from New Leaders for New Schools through a federal program rewarding teachers for exceptional student academic growth. Our schools are in high demand. In every year of existence, more students have applied to the schools than there was space available. In 2011, approximately 600 families applied by the first deadline for 480 sixth grade spaces around our network, and many more applied after that deadline. Among our teachers, our network staff retention has met or exceeded 80% each of the past 5 years. These accomplishments are significant, and they're a testament to the hard work of our students, our teachers, and our parents. And it's important to keep in mind that they're only a leading indicator of what we're hoping to achieve. A place where a 4-year college education becomes the norm and not the exception for all of the students in our community, regardless of background. That objective has lots of hard work in front of us. The biggest constraint to the growth of high-performing charter school networks like ours is the human capital pipeline of teachers and leaders coming into our schools. In our country, we've rarely afforded teaching the respect that it deserves, both financially and as a matter of stature. And as a result, we've not always encouraged the best and the brightest to be teachers. If our educational system is going to meet its goals, if we are to be successful about a 4-year college for all students, this absolutely has to change. And we have to become a country where teaching in urban schools and leading our schools is a profession of the highest respect and one that attracts the very best talent of our nation and our generation. We've confronted this challenge in all sorts of ways. Growing leaders to run our new schools is a huge constraint for growth, and we've addressed this by opening a principal and training cohort program in-house. Across the country, lots of organizations are tackling leadership development for urban education in a variety of different ways. We've found one with very specialized support for our teachers, building schools in our model to be the most effective and the most important. We're hiring more and more people every year as we grow, and recruiting and selecting and finding these people is a huge challenge. Our partnership with Teach for America is one of the most successful and most promising aspects of this work that we're doing. And we need many more like it that are encouraging young people to go into education and helping with the recruitment, selection, and the retention of them once they get there. A second challenge for us has been the political climate in a very local context. What West Denver Prep is doing can be perceived as threatening to the status quo of education. And so at each turn, we've encountered some opposition in varying degrees. It's incumbent on us as an organization and us as a broader movement of high-performing charter schools to work on authentic, real, long-term parent engagement and community advocacy. Because parents who are choosing this school and benefiting from the education their students are receiving are clear in their support. And that support of those parents mitigates all of the different political issues. The growth vision for West Denver Prep is to build a pathway to college for 4,000 students by opening pods of schools, starting with 2 middle schools and growing to include a high school in 4 different regions of the Denver metro area. The 2 middle schools in our Southwest Denver and our North Denver pods are already open. The next phase of growth includes our first high school in Southwest Denver, a high school in North Denver, and 2 new middle schools in the far northeast region of Denver, all over the next 3 years. This expansion will increase West Denver Prep's reach dramatically, from 1,100 students this year across 4 schools to an estimated 2,100 students across 8 schools by the school year of 2013-2014. Right now, public revenue numbers are unpredictable. Our best guess, we estimate that the growth phase described above will require approximately $10 million in private fundraising. These funds will support the back office necessary to grow with strong academic quality and accountability. It will support the varied facility solutions. It will support the strong campus-based leadership and staff, and the development of our principal and training cohort, our in-house leadership development program to train the next generation of leaders for our network. This next phase of growth is an enormous step toward West Denver Prep's longer-term growth vision. Once achieved, the network could graduate 400 college-ready, low-income students each year, starting in 2019, which would double the number of low-income Denver students prepared for a 4-year college in just a 10-year period. In conjunction with our strongest partner, the Denver School of Science and Technology's similar growth plan, at full build-out, the 2 networks could serve 25% of Denver's secondary school population, with an excellent public college preparatory education. Given the widespread research on education as a systematic path out of poverty and the greatest predictor of health, safety, and economic viability, the expected impact of this plan to individual lives, families, neighborhoods, and the Denver community at large is tremendously promising. Our first and most pressing need is for growth. We seek to take this model and serve more students and more families across a broader section of our Denver community. Over time, we hope to build sustainable schools operable on public dollars that can be sustainable members of our community for a very long time to come. And that path to sustainability is challenging for several different reasons. The instability of public funds right now under the current economic conditions add challenges to long-term forecasting of how educational funding will work down the road. In addition, we cannot sacrifice the quality of the academic program that we offer our students and families. And so despite the aggressive pace of growth, replication has to be thoughtful, quality has to be sustained, and that takes a significant upfront investment in building out these systems of operations and building out a strong central team. Among other gaps, we think a lot about different grade levels. As a middle school operator, we're keenly aware of just how far behind our average student enters our program. The typical West Denver Prep student starts 6th grade 2 years behind in reading and math, which is both a humbling testament to their educational experience, the primary reason why we exist, and also a reminder that always begs the question, what if we could start younger? We talk all the time about what our model would look like if we were a K-12 program instead of a 6-12 program. And while elementary school is not currently a part of our growth plan, It's a gap and an opportunity that we talk about and think about all the time as we consider the long-term impact of our schools.